You already know what's going on. Welcome to Sports Talk with Turner. I'm your host and creator, and today we're going over them Hawks, baby. So I'm sure, as all of you've known, the Hawks is probably the biggest surprise of the playoffs this year. But if you ask me, I knew it was happening from day one. Games are amazing. Trae Young is out there balling. He's dang near averaging 30 and 10. I don't know. It's 28, 10, 29 and 10. It's something like that. But needless to say, he's definitely been the reason why the Hawks have been pulling through, been making sure that they've been, whooping these teams behind, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Jelly bean. When you have a young roster like the Hawks do, and you've been able to not only play at a high level, but do it consistently, I think they have the number 4 defense in the postseason, 0.2 points behind Philly for the number 3 spot, and we all saw what we did to Philly. I mean, honestly, it should have been in 6 games, which I called.
I want to say I don't want to go anymore. Hawks in 6. I ain't got no more voice, but it's Hawks in 6. Hawks in 6.
But 7, I'll take that too. So now we just got to move on to the Bucks, which is probably going to be our biggest challenge, only because they have the best defense in the postseason. Have the entire postseason. I feel like a large part was really because of what they did to the Heat, because they kind of demolished them, and then they didn't do as good as they should have in the Nets series. They honestly barely grazed by. So I feel as if we could really shut down the Bucks' their three-point shooting, then we'll really come out on top, because we showed in the Philly series that we really couldn't handle the paint. We're not big enough to really handle the size of Embiid. And honestly, I feel like Embiid is more physical. Giannis is more athletic. But we couldn't get past that physical aspect. We can double team enough to kind of make sure Giannis is thrown off. He's not going to shoot any threes. He's not going to really do anything outside the perimeter. So if we kind of limit him a little bit in the paint, that would be good. And also, if we're able to make sure that we shut down the threes, that's the biggest thing. If we shut down the perimeter shooting, we have the Bucks in a wrap, because our rotational defense, the way they were playing zone in the last couple series against Philly and the Knicks, it really shows what Nate McMillan has been doing as a coach, his coaching staff, and how the players have basically embraced that new culture, how they've been able to make sure that they all step up when necessary, like Kevin Huerter did in Game 7, came up big with those 27 points, made sure that we basically came out on top, especially when Trae was having a terrible game. And when I say terrible game, I think he was like 5 of 23 from the field, but he still had 21 points and 10 or 11 assists. So he's still having a 20-10 game, shooting less than 25%. So that just shows that not only can he still make an impact, as in he isn't Trae Young can still make an impact when not playing that well, but also it shows that other people who you thought might not have stepped up when it's time to. Kevin Huerter, Bogdan, Buckets, Gallinari, John Collins, Capella. The whole roster is doing their thing this year, and I'm extremely proud of it. I'm extremely happy. And boy, I'm excited to see what's next. I'm telling you, Hawks in 7. Hawks in 7. That's for the finals. We gonna handle the Bucks. If we can steal one of the first 2 games, when we steal one of the first 2 games, then we have a much better chance at making sure we finish the Bucks off in 6. I feel like we learned our lesson in the 76ers series. I feel that we made sure that the things we weren't doing good on, we picked that back up. We made sure we executed that better in the later games, and moving forward, and I'm sure they want to review the tape, want to see what they did good on, what they did bad on, and the things that they did bad on, of course, they'll make adjustments, and I feel like they've been doing pretty good this postseason at making adjustments. Just call me the kid that's a baby goat. So I'm sure, as y'all can see, let me go ahead and put my peek down a little bit. You know your boy is rocking that Hawks gear, you know what I mean? We as in the A, are extremely excited about what the Hawks are doing this year. Like I said, the Hawks are probably the biggest surprise this postseason. But when you really look at how they played at the end of the season under Nate McMillan, it shouldn't be that much of a surprise. Our biggest weakness through this entire season before we fired our first head coach, Floyd Pierce, was closing games off. Like we would have the lead, and then all of a sudden we just couldn't close games. It's always in the fourth quarter in which basically we're letting the team go on runs. We're not using our personnel properly. We are, and no bash, to our old head coach, but the way we've been executing with our new head coach, Nate McMillan, is definitely a major turnaround as far as how we're able to close off games, how we're able to keep that confidence up, and make sure that we basically keep our foot on their neck, because that's essentially what we want to do when we're closing out games, especially when it comes in the playoffs. You do not want to give teams an inch to claw back in the series. And I feel like a great team that's done that is the Hawks. Like, being down. The game that I'm thinking of, I think it was most recent series against the Sixers when we did the comeback. It was game 4 before the comeback. We were down about 18 or so points. And then all of a sudden, we get on a run because we can shoot the three. We kind of live or die by the three a little too much, I feel like. I feel like we need to do a little better at playing more efficiently and making smarter basketball plays, like what's a good like picking better shots. But we do a good job at getting runs. Like we definitely make sure we get on a run, and then we ride the wave, because we've done it a couple times this postseason. We've made sure that when we are getting the run, we're making sure we're locking them down on defense. We're making sure that the role players are stepping up. We're making sure our second unit, first unit, everybody is involved. Like I said earlier, their defense in crunch times are critical. It's actually amazing how well they rally together. Nate McMillan, I don't know what he's done down there, but I applaud you, my friend, because you have certainly made sure that we came up on top the way we were supposed to. I'm gonna make sure I try to add some crazy little, reaction videos. I lost my voice a couple times going to the games, but that's how it's supposed to be when you're enjoying yourself. When your team balling, you know what I mean? Ooh, you know what I mean? Them Hawks is out there showing out, my boy. I'm talking about, Curry with the floater. I don't play basketball, so my floater might look a little ugly, but and, you let the thing fly, just like, you let it go. It's like you kind of gently pushing it, you know what I mean? Just in the air. You feel me? Y'all know how it is, them hoopers out there. And even if you're not a hooper, you didn't play 2K before. I cracked myself up. I kid. Hey, must be the money. If you want to go and take a ride with me, it's the Hawks. Winning this thing with the Hawks and Suns in 7. Hey, Hawks in 7. If you want to go and take a ride with me, I can take you to the A where the Hawks be. Oh, why do I feel this way? Hey, must be the Hawks, baby. But, my predictions, I will say Hawks in 6 for the Bucks. We're going to win game 1 against the Bucks on the road. We're going to win by less than 4 points, though. It'll be 4 or 5, and I say that simply because we'll be up by a possession, and they'll try to foul and claw their way back in there, and we'll do a great job at executing, which will eventually give us that extra second possession. But it'll basically be a possession or two that we win by the first game. I would love for us to win the second game, but I don't really see us winning game 2. I see us winning game 1 because of the momentum we've had. We've had an extra day to rest, to focus. So we had 2 days off instead of just that every other day of playing games. So I say we win game 1, lose game 2. If we win game 3 and 4, then Hawks in 5. But the Bucks are a very good team defensively, and like I said, We have to shut them down on a three, and I don't think we'll be able to do that every single game. I feel like there might be a game in which they really pop off on the threes. So if they, after 4 games, if it's even, tied 2-2, Hawks in 6. But if we're up 3-1 after game 4, Hawks in 5 for the Bucks series. The Suns series, Hawks in 7, no matter how you look at it. 6 would be a surprise because that man D-Book is on another level. I've been saying this for a while, especially because of the bubble last year. D-Book is the next Kobe. Nobody can, of course, no one can ever be the Black Mamba. No one can ever be Kobe. But if we're talking about current players, especially up-and-coming players who have that Mamba mentality, that Mamba gene, you can't tell me anybody more than D-Book. Not Jason Tatum, not even Trae Young, even though he is fierce, and I feel like later down the line he will better get that. But D-Book has been so hungry to not only get into the playoffs, he has been balling since like last year, since they went 8-0, since he got that buzzer beater against the Clips, and then they didn't get in the playoffs. Like he's a man on a mission. So it's Hawks in 7 because D-Book showed what he could do without CP3 game 1 against the Clippers 2 days ago. Yeah, it's about 2-3 days ago. So he has definitely proven I'm that man. Like a 40-point triple-double in your first Western Conference Finals, you know, like that's some 2K type stuff, okay? Like he's putting up numbers, bro. He's balling. He's playing hungry. He's playing like a man on a mission. So that is the next Mamba to me because he has no fear, none. That man be pulling up in them old school guys just riding because he about to be riding through your city. You feel me? So, but yeah, conference finals, Hawks in 6, Hawks in 5 if we're 3-1 after 4 games, and it's going to be Hawks and Suns in the finals, Hawks in 7. You heard it here first, folks. I'm out. Peace. It is what it is, and I'm so tired. Tired. What's wrong? Because I got ties. A lot of ties. A lot of ties. Ooh, ooh. It's too late for all that lovey-dovey. I'm your brother. All that other. It's too late for all that. It's too late for all that. Yo, what's poppin'? It's your man, it's your boy. It's Sports Talk with Turner. It's good to have everybody back, you know. How about them Hawks, though? You feel me? Yeah, we eating them up. God dang. Welcome to... All right, look at the camera. Look at me, I look at you. This thing on.